Hello, Magic the Gathering players. This is Antitesh Ordo. Today I'm going to be covering I'm going to be catching up the rest of my spoilers that I should have caught up, or should have been doing every day. So I apologize for that. Those that like watching my Magic videos and me talking about them. I'm excited about a lot of these cards, so yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Also, to save time, there's a lot of reprints. Skizix is a reprint, so I'm not going to cover reprints of these vanilla creatures. Even though we got a vanilla 4-mana 9/3, whoa, that's been recently released since I've been doing video recording. 5-mana 9/3. I don't ever see that being used as a commander. Excuse me. So yeah, if you want to use it as a mono black, go for it. Go for it, but that's up to you. So again, all these vanilla creatures, they don't have any effects on them. I'm just going to skip. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. Sylvan Awakening. Tell your next turn on lands become 2/2s with reach, indestructible, and haste. Ooh, it's a sorcery. Obviously you can't do that at instant speed, but at least you can use it to finish off someone. That is awesome. It's until your next turn too, so you can cast it, pass the turn, and go good luck killing them. Unless they have that sheep effect, or not that sheep, it's a blue spell that exiles creatures, but and they gives you creature tokens in replace. That could be a downside. Weight of Memory, 5 mana, draw 3 cards. Target player puts top 3 cards of his or library into the graveyard. How much to talk about those, the next two. Thrawn, Temporal Gateway, 4 mana. You may put a historic permanent from your hand onto the battlefield. It's just a artifact version of Quicksilver Amulet for historics. So it actually hits artifacts. It also hits legendaries, so any legendary enchantments could also be hit through this. And of course the sagas, which are also enchantments. So it's a way to get, legendary stuff out. The Mending of Dominaria, 5 mana. Put for the first 2 tokens, top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard, then you may return a creature from your graveyard to your hand. Cool. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield, then shuffle your graveyard into your library. Whoa, that's awesome. I will say that's a good card for Commander, and it could be played in Standard for sure. You just build up to it, where you're discarding stuff from your graveyard to your hand, or I mean from your library to your graveyard, or even going against a mill deck. This is a really good. Once you cast this, got a few turns. If they don't finish milling you out on your third turn, you return all lands cards to the battlefield, which is really good. That means all your answers that have been milled away will now start to be draw options. We're also starting to get some fungus support. Storm Spores. It's fungus and sapling, I'll put it that way. Create 3 1/1 green saplings at instant speed, so it's a green token generator. That's exciting. The last one that was just as good as that is Scatter the Seas with Convoke. So this one is an upside downside kind of effect, because Convoke can still be useful. Fungus Field, 1 and a green to exile a card from your graveyard. Exile a creature, and then you exile a creature card from your graveyard, and then create a 1/1 sapling. Then you sacrifice 2 saplings to draw a card and gain 2 life. I don't see Standard unless they really finish up with a lot more sapling and fungus stuff, but definitely a fungus sapling deck, and Commander is definitely going to be picking these cards up. In Bolas's Clutches, it's just a simple, you gain control of a permanent, and it's legendary. Nothing too much. Gaea's Predator, I'm skipping. Ariel, Knight of Windgrace, 4 mana 4/4 Vigilance. It creates a 2/2 Knight with Vigilance, and you may tap X untapped Knight you control to destroy target creature with power X or less. So this is definitely a great Knight, or great option for a black and white Knight commander. Definitely big. May see some Knight Standard play. We'll see how that works out. But Commander, oh man, that's an exciting card to play around. That means you get to finally use your Still Moon Cavaliers and any of the other Knights. Just a lot of Knight synergy. Then we got a Lord for Saplings and Funguses. Really exciting. We needed that for our Saplings and Funguses, so it's a good thing we got them. So Saplings are now bigger than 1/1s, and then the Funguses are bigger too. So I'm excited about Fungus and Saplings. So Sapling, Fungus, and Squirrels are tribes I'd love to see reworked in the next couple of years. Improved, add more cards to. Lich's Mastery, 6 mana, hexproof. You can't lose the game, and whenever you gain life, draw that many cards. Whenever you lose life, for each one life lost, exile a permanent you control or a card from your hand or graveyard. When it leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. So this is a really crazy card to play around. It gives you a lot of options to work with. It has hexproof. It can't die as easy, but at least it has a chance of dying if someone sacrifices. So, Howling Golem is just a Howling Mine when this creature attacks. It's a Howling Mine effect when the creature attacks. Nothing much to talk about. Good for commander decks that love to allow people to attack. Whispering. This one just sacrifices 2 creatures to return a creature card from graveyard to the hand, to the battlefield. It's okay. Some of these uncommons I'm just skipping for sure, like the Kavu. It's good. 2 mana, 2/2 Vigilance Trample, but if it's kicked, it gets bigger. So it's a 5 mana, 5/5. Nothing much. So Garna, the Blood Flame, 5 mana, 3/3 Flash. Whoa, a red-black card with Flash? That's rare. Other creatures you control have haste, and then when it enters battlefield, return all to your hand all creature cards from in your graveyard that were put there from anywhere this turn. So if someone wraths the board, you have this mana. It's a that's good. Actually, this is a very viable option for a black-red commander. So definitely stick around with that. Skittering Surveyor, just searches for a basic land, puts in your hand. Nothing too exciting. Blowtail Candle. It costs too much to give -5. Really does. 1, and then you pay 4 or 5 to sacrifice instead of 6 would have been better, but like I said, a lot of these cards I'm just skipping. Orcish Vandal. I will talk about this one. Second artifact, deal 2 damage to any target. One thing about this card is it's nice that there's also, this is another tribe that really needs some support, is orcs. So we hope that they actually get some support in the near future as well. Blackblade Reforged. This is the Blackblade that was for Corlash, heir to the Blackblade. That's his sword. One thing though is it's a cool sword. I definitely want to collect it for like zombie collection because that's who had it. But it looks like Gideon gets this sword. Okay, we'll see how that works. I have to look into the story for this. Quindle, Pride of whatever that says. It basically is this card. Oh, it doesn't show. Dang it. In Lorwyn Shadowmoor block, there was a card that was a Kithkin Knight that gave Knight creatures double strike. This one just says creatures you control, so definitely worthwhile in a Knight deck for sure. Navigator's Compass. This one's interesting because it literally turns, it's a filtering card in a different way. So I can see this easily being played. 1 mana to gain 3 life, so against burn right off the bat, that's a, for modern, that's a bolt. For standard, that's a lightning strike. Still, that eats up a lightning strike in a sense. And then it just filters. So until in turn target land you control. So it becomes a basic land type among your choice in addition to its other types. Also, what's nice is it's common, so Pauper will definitely pick it up. Great card for Pauper for filtering. That's going to be picked up a lot. Mercia's Self-Replicator. Whenever you cast a historic spell, you pay 1 to copy it. It can get out of hand if you let it. If your opponent lets it. Jorah's Familiar, 4 mana, 2/2 flying, and a historic spells cost 1 less. If anything, it's good for Legendary and Saga cards more than artifacts, because there's other artifacts cost 1 less spells. But it's still good though. Urza's Tome, draw a card, then discard a card unless you exile a historic card from your graveyard. Meh. Wary Phoenix, another Phoenix. I'm not gonna really talk about that one. On Sarah's Rings, standard and Pauper, or not standard and commander may use this. Nothing much to talk about it. Just gives a legendary, or turns it into a legendary and gives it +1/+1 flying, vigilance, and lifelink. Pegasus Courier, or Courser, and you know, then we got a Sphinx, we got a Divination back, Aven Sentry. This one's an interesting one. I will say this one. It's more for kicker spell tribal, but 2 mana with 0/2 that adds green is not bad. At least in Commander, it could be used, especially if you do have a lot of kicker spells. So if you make it kicker tribal with the Hellar of the Fire Fletcher, really great option. So those two will be together in any of the other kicker decks that allows you to pay 2 instead of 1. So it ramps you. 4 mana 4/4, if it enters the battlefield, add 3 counters, so it's an 8 mana 7/7. Nothing exciting about that. Long War Scout ain't too bad. I'll see exactly, there's some decks that it may actually be used in. 2 mana 1/3, then you put a land card from your hand into the battlefield. Torgar Famine Incarnate 8 mana 7/6. When additional cast costs the spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. This spell costs 2 less for each creature sacrificed this way. So Modern may actually pick this up because there's some tricks to getting it out there. Play a couple creatures on turn 1 and 2. And then you could also use some Ornithopter effects. Then turn 3, you can have this out. And there's battlefield up to 1 target player's life total becomes half their starting life total rounded down. So that's really good. So Modern may actually pick up a trick effect of this card. So we'll see how it works out. Banish Marshal. This is just a Glorious Anthem on a stick, basically. Especially it's a knight, so it hits any other creature. So it's good in knight decks and just mono white decks in general. Humans. Skirk Prospector. Some people are saying this will actually be good in Modern. I agree. Sacrificing some tokens to ramp into other cards, other goblins. Goblins are definitely getting some love for Modern for sure, Standard for sure, etc. Commander, another good option. Sacrifice your 1/1 tokens to make a bigger goblin. Multi-Yavimai's Avatar, 6 mana 0/0 for each trample. Gets +1/+1 for each land you control and each land and card in your graveyard. So it's kind of like a Soulless one, but for lands. Really what it is. And then you return 2 lands you control to their owner's hand. And then you return it from your graveyard to your hand. So it's not too bad. Definitely a good commander, but it's also going to be part of the 99 and other commanders like Omnith, etc. So definitely stay tuned. That one's a good card to use. Final Parting, 5 mana. Search your library for 2 cards, put one in your hand and the other in the graveyard. It's definitely viable in Commander. That's where I really would see it at. Tempest Djinn. This one's a really interesting one. 3 mana. It's one of the 3 mana triple cost. 3 blue for a 0/4 flying, but it gets +1/+0 for each island you control. I feel like a mono blue aggro deck is going to start coming into Modern. And it also might even still link kind of towards the Ninja Bear Delver decks. This one might actually, be a very viable option. It's a really good beater for the mid to late game where it's a 6/4, 7/4, and 8/4, something like that. So, or it also could be in just a mono blue control deck with some other a few other creatures like Delver, and then you just run, this. Gaia's Blessed's a reprint. And that is the last of the spoilers. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below about the spoilers of Dominaria so far. I really like a lot of these cards. There is a lot to see from this set. And a lot of tribes they're supporting. Like they're supporting fungus and saprolings. That's good. We need that. A lot of people would love that for Commander. That's a big thing. So, but again, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and you guys have a wonderful day.